Hi there, I'm Christy from Southwest Airlines, and typically you think about crabs swimming in the ocean, not so much them flying through the sky. Well, today we're going to take you behind the scenes to show you what it takes to get a crab shipment from the Gulf of Mexico to dinner tables all across the country. So in order for us to show you how we get those delicious crabs from the Gulf of Mexico to your hometown, we've brought you here to the Southwest Airlines cargo facility in Houston, Texas to show you how it all begins. Okay, what's your name and how long have you been with Southwest?
My name is Timmy Shomuyua, and I've been with Southwest now for about 2 years.
Here? Yeah. What are we doing here? What are all these boxes?
Well, these are crabs. Houston is known for shipping out a lot of crabs to Baltimore, which is one of our major routes. And these are crabs ready to go on the first flight out to Baltimore this morning. It's all set, it's in the cart, and we're ready to take it out once the rain goes down.
With me from Oak Island Seafood here in the Houston area, and he's one of our prime shippers here out of the Houston cargo facility. So John, tell me a little bit about how you use Southwest Cargo Services.
What we do is the fishermen bring it into our dock, we weigh it up, package it, put it in leak-proof boxes, and then we haul it to Southwest Airlines Cargo, and then we unload it, tag it up, and they ship out next morning.
Why would you choose to ship with Southwest Cargo rather than ground service?
Well, because of the shelf life of the crabs. Southwest Airlines, it can be in a matter of hours before they arrive, whereas ground service would take days.
I don't know how many of these I can do.
Well, there's lots of different stories about how the crabs were started to become such a Maryland tradition. But one of the parts of the story is that when we had the prisoners down at Sandy Point, when it was still a prison, that they would send the prisoners out to catch crabs and then steam them because they couldn't afford to feed the prisoners. So they would send these group of prisoners out, and at that time there were so many crabs in the water that they would just gather them up and bring them in and steam them for the prisoners with rock salt and seasoning. Well, that was one part of the story, and then this caught on. So then the prison guards, realizing what a good thing this was, they would then do the same thing. They would go home and catch these crabs to feed their families, because just like the prisoners who couldn't, there was no money to feed them, there was no money to feed these families of these soldiers at this time. So they would go home and do the same thing, and they would use rock salt and seasoning to flavor the crabs. Well, McCormick, the spice company, was started in Maryland, and they caught on to this tradition of this seasoning that was used on the crabs, and that's where Old Bay came from.
Wow, it's amazing. Now that's correct. The Southwest Airlines blog team would like to send a special thanks to all the folks who helped us make this video. We'll see you next time.